how are you? Welcome to my channel. My name is Ruth and today I'm doing a little bit of a different video. It's essentially categories that I no longer buy or want to have as a category in my collection. I've seen a few people do videos like this and I thought that's a clever idea, and it is something that I'm actively trying to do anyway. I think the one that I saw most recently was Sophie Alexander. I'm trying to think, I know other people have done it as well and I apologise if I haven't shouted you out. But I definitely, Sophie was the one that reminded me that, yeah, I'd like to do a video like that. So, first category that I have 10 categories in total, which is, makes my soul happy. The first one is concealers, because I no longer use concealers. I use color correctors and that's it. If I use a concealer, it is to color correct, as in to like a foundation adjuster, you know, in a very light color. So I'm just not using them. So this is the last one that I have in my collection as a concealer. Now I have a very light, like a porcelain shade. I have it here, I think, actually. But I'm not classifying it as my concealer collection. It's going into my foundation adjuster. It's, you know, it's nearly white in shade. And I just use a dab of that to adjust my foundation shades. But the last true concealer, ironically, is the True Skin from Catrice, the high cover concealer with hyaluronic acid, and it's waterproof. So this is the last one of my collection and is the one that I will be working out of my collection this year, hopefully. And then that category will be 0, and there's no reason for me to bring any more in unless, like that, it's for foundation adjustment. And if that's the case, it's not going into my concealer category, it's going into my foundation adjusting category. I hope that makes sense. And I haven't, like, yeah, you've said enough for it. They get it. They get it. Oh yeah, it's in shade 005 or 005 Warm Macadamia. I'll give you a swatch. I'll give you another swatch. Sure, why not? It's a nice enough concealer, but I just don't use them because I'm not going to put this on top of a colour corrector as well. No, poor little delicate under eyes just can't cope with that level of concealing anymore. So yeah, that one is probably going to come into a summer project because it's a bit dark for now. The next category is face palettes, because look we all lost the run of ourselves there for a long time with face palettes, and I definitely bought into it, but I am adamant I'm not purchasing any more face palettes. I currently own 5, but realistically I only really own 2 because the rest are duos and I'm not as put out about them. But anyway, the first one that I want to talk about is my Hourglass Ambient Lighting Edit in Sculpture. I think it was that one. Oh God, the gold one. And this is what it is looking like. Barely use it because I was working on the Ghost one and I have that finished. Well, finished as much as I'm going to use out of it. So this is the one that I have left. I was so wanted one of these ambient palettes that they did at Christmas every year because I wanted to try the Hourglass formula. I wanted to see what all the fuss was about because, you know, people that I used to watch back then, like Samantha Ravindall and you know, other people like that, a lot of the Canadians especially really loved their bougie kind of Hourglass powders and stuff like that. Oh, Ruth, look at the state here. So I always wanted to try it. I'm delighted that I found what shade are you, my love? Diffuse Light. I've bought it in the full size, this finishing powder. I adore it. It is all I will use under my eyes till the day they put me in the coffin, and even then I'd like them to put it on my under eyes then if they wouldn't mind. That would be lovely. But yeah, love it. That's this shade here. The other one is Dim Light, isn't it? No, it's grand. Like what I end up using that for is like eyeshadow buffing out kind of thing. The highlighters, I've discovered that when you really kind of scrape through the top layer, that glitteriness that's in it goes away, and it's actually quite a nice highlighter. And the blushes are nice and the bronzer is nice. My main problem with these palettes is you cannot get a feckin' brush into them for love nor money without dipping into everything else around it. I mean, They brought out one year where you had 4 here and 1 long shade here. And like the long shade should have been the bronzer because of all the things that you have in the palette. The bronzer is more than likely the one that you're going to use the biggest brush with. In my experience anyway, I use a smaller brush for under my eyes. I use a smaller brush for my highlighter. I use a more delicate brush for my blush. My bronzer brush is always the biggest. I mean, you just... It vexes me. No end. But what I did with my Ghost palette is I actually removed the bronzer from it, and I think it was half of Dim Light, yeah, in my other one, and mixed them together and repressed them, and they repressed really well, and it actually turned into a lovely bronzer, and I used it up that way and I was very happy. And I also have made a blush. I combined the two that were in Ghost. They're slightly different. I think this one is deeper, into one little palette or pan, and I'm enjoying them that way. And then the highlighter is on its own, and again I'm enjoying it. So the packaging of the ones this year, the temptation was real, but thank God I already had this and knew that no, just no. Now I did get this on a Black Friday sale of the year that it was out, so at least I didn't pay full whack for it. But if you're wondering, in my humble opinion, not worth it. But like I said, I did discover that powder, and it is, don't tell my husband, the love of my actual life. That's not true. He's the love of my life. The other one I have is Glowing in Grease. This is a 6 colour blush and highlighter palette from BH Cosmetics. And it is very, very pretty. And it is my summer kind of shades that I enjoy. Now, I haven't used it half enough. So next year, it needs to, in the summer, it needs to go into a project or something and get some proper use out of it and make it look like it's been at least got some bit of loving. The duos then I have, this one really should just go into my blushes, I suppose. This is the e.l.f. Pomegranate little duo, because this isn't a highlight that I can really use even in the summertime. It is very dark. But the ones that had a lighter highlight in it, the blushes were just like, not for me. Whereas this blush I think is beautiful. I really enjoy it. You can build it up and it is quite a pretty shade. So being very real with you, I just mix these two together and slap them on the face because I like a glowy blush, and that is matte and that is a highlight. So really it should just go into my blush collection, but sure, that's a problem for another day. Next one is the Natasha Denona Rose Cheek Duo. Again, shiny packaging, sorry guys. This is what she looks like on the inside. So we have two kind of cream products here. I don't know, the highlighter feels like maybe cream to powder, but the blush is cream. As opposed to just cream earth, is it? Right. Yeah, very pretty. I love that blush shade. It is divine. Absolutely love it. So that one I think is going into a project next year, hopefully, to use up before it goes bad on me. But yeah, I love the blush. I can leave or take or leave the highlighter. And the last one, as you all know, is my favorite brand in the world. I just love it so much. That's sarcasm. It's Charlotte Tilbury. Darling. I can't take her. She's all over the feckin' YouTubes at the moment. Every second ad is, "Are you ready, Elton, darling?" I'm like, shut up. I can't deal with you, woman. So this is what it looks like. So that bronzer works for me in the summertime. No, that's a lie, in the wintertime. And the highlighter is actually quite pretty. I give her that. And the packaging on this was very pretty. My only gripe was the mirror wasn't beveled properly. It's not going the whole way up to here. And I think this was something stupid, like 60 quid or something. And you think, for that price, love, you could have actually, you know, finished it off a tad better. Just saying. But it was a Christmas special one. It has all the Diamante on it. And look, it is very pretty. But she is not worth the price tag. And she annoys the head off me. And the Welsh twins don't like her. So that in my book means I am vindicated and validated in my dislike of them. Never met her. She could be a lovely woman. Stop it, Ruth. Season of goodwill and all that. So I have 5 face palettes, so we're working them. We're going to work through them eventually. Look, it's going to take years. Let's be realistic. But I'm not adding to that. I'm not. Number 3 is contour powders. I currently have none. I suppose technically you could say that's a contour powder. But other than that, I don't have any singles. I don't have a contour palette. I have nothing like that. I used to have... Did I have the KVD one? Maybe. I had a few. I had one from NYX. I had, you know, back when everyone was going, oh my God, you have to have it. Don't walk around. I'm obsessed. I'm shook. Ruth is like, are you? Oh my God, I'm running. I'm going. I'm getting it. Come on. Yeah, that was me, guys. But I've since, you know, they've all moved out of my collection. They've been decluttered or... Yeah, decluttered. I don't know where else they might have gone. I didn't use them up, that's for sure. It's just like, no. I can use my bronzer to do a bit of contouring. I have this if I'm badly stuck. If not, if that's gone, I have eyeshadows that are a similar shade. It will work just fine. Thanks very much. So no more contour powders. Next up is single pot eyeshadows. So this could mean like Super Shock shadows. Like these. I have Catitude and Ice Dream. I just don't use singles, guys. I just don't use them. They're in my drawer. They get forgotten about, and it's just a waste of space, money, everything. I kept these two because they're pretty. Well, really, I kept Ice Dream because Deb B loves it so much. And it's like, I have to keep it if Deb loves it that much. But the only one, that was a pack of 3, 6, 9, 12 that I got. And this was the only one I truly liked. Catitude. And even at that, it's like, once it's gone, it's gone. I'm not going to be crying over it, you know. So I also have one from Sephora, but I think I'm actually going to, these I didn't realise are metallic. You know, the pans, you can take them out and put them into a palette, which I'll probably do, but I just couldn't resist it. It was just such a note to self, must check this later and see if it'll dupe my sultry shade that I was trying to dupe. Ooh, exciting. So I have that one, and then they call this a cream shadow, but really, I suppose to me it's a that is the word that I'm looking for. It is an eyeshadow base. Primer. Something to that effect. It is from e.l.f. It is the e.l.f. No Budge Cream Eyeshadow in... Doesn't say. But I'm going to go with white. And it's for, you know, making more colourful looks pop a little bit. So, really, I suppose that should be in my primer section. And the last one then is a little sample that I think it was Deb sent me. This is not... Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Mayday! This was the shade Pistol, but the little pot is completely falling apart and there's all bits after falling into it. Oh no! And that's very sad. Well, sure, look, that's just life, guys. So that was Pistol. That's gone. Can't be using that because there's all bits gone into it. Oh well. Anyway, look, as if she hasn't enough. She's fine. I will survive. So currently 4, but let's be realistic, probably 2, because this one is going to go into a magnetic palette and this one is going to go into my primers, eye primers. So 2 essentially. But I can't be buying any more single pot eyeshadows because I just don't use them. And let's be honest, single shadows in general, I try every so often to make myself pull out my palette of singles and that, but I just don't use them, guys. I just don't. So no single eyeshadows, no single pot eyeshadows, nothing like that is to come into my collection. I'm not to take apart palettes anymore because I used to depop palettes and put them into Z and do them the way I want, and then they went into the dusty grave in the drawer, never to be seen again. So, yeah. Next up is glitters and loose pigments. Well, Pistol unfortunately is gone. It's the only one I had. but they're too messy. Like the stuff all over the place now here. They're too messy. The glitters go everywhere. I'd rather have a pressed kind of, you know, the beautiful, like what I have on today from Gloss Gods, something like that, that has a gripping kind of component already in it. Words. Why are words so hard? So yeah, glitters, loose pigments. They have no business being in my collection. I'm not 22. Not that there's anything wrong with you if you use them and you're my age, but I'm just saying, for me, for my personal use, make no sense. Next up is liquid eyeshadow. So again, we're into similar as cream eyeshadows and stuff like that. I just don't reach for them. So I currently have two. I have e.l.f. Dirty Martini, I think. And oh, I love this one. This was from Courtney. I miss Courtney around the place. Natasha Denona Chromium liquid eyeshadow in Dragonfly. Very, very pretty. I had loads of the Stila ones. They're all gone. You can't really see. It just has a beautiful duochrome, triochrome, multichrome, whatever you want to call it. And then Dirty Martini. But again, I have to literally put them into projects to get use out of them because I just don't organically reach for them. So again, need to stop buying them. I was so close to buying the duochromes that e.l.f. brought out of these things. And I'm like, but you don't use them, woman. Stop it. So that was number 6. Number 7, again, same line, eyeshadow sticks. I currently have 3. I have the KVD Dazzle stick in... It's a shade. It looks like this. I can't read it. The glasses will be coming. I'll be able to read everything. What would be miraculous. Very pretty. Don't get me wrong. Really, really actually like it. And used it recently in a kind of a Christmas look and thoroughly, you know, enjoyed it. But again, I have to actively go looking for it to bother using it. This is one of the e.l.f. No Budge eyeshadow sticks. I had a load of these. I've decluttered a load of these. Again, I just don't reach for them. I kept this one. I think it's Rose something or other. Because it was kind of the prettiest of the ones I owned. So I just said I'd keep on to one. And then the last one is from... Who are you from? Nude Sticks. And it is a magnetic matte eye colour in a shade that I cannot... Why would you do that now? So the shade, I don't know if you can see down here. You've got a band going around here. And the shade is written on that brown band in black. Really, lads. Really. Someone's getting paid the big bucks over there. And so it's just a very basic dark brown. Grand for... if you wanted to put, you know, dark base and have something nice on top of it, you know, something that you want to really pop. Or it is great as an eyeliner, you know, in the waterline, etc. You know how eyeliners work. I'm quite sure of it. Next up is brow products in general. So 8, 9 and 10 is brow pencils, brow pomades and brow powders. So I currently have 2 brow pencils. I have one from Benefit, Precisely My Brow Pencil, and I have one from Primark. The brow, or is it? You Primark? Or are you Catrice? Oh no, you're Primark. Brow Sketch Brow Pencil. So I have 2 left. Once these are gone, that's it. I have any amount of eyeshadows that could be used as brow powders. I used to do it all the time. So go back to it, Ruth. The only brow product I'll be keeping around is a brow gel, mascara, whatever you want to call it, because I need that to kind of put the brows in place and stuff. Brow pomades, I have none left, and brow powders, I have none left, and I have no desire to bring them into my collection. So we have 2 brow pencils left, and once they're gone, I'm hoping I can be strong enough to stop buying them, and because they are easy. I like, you know, how you can sketch out your brows a bit with them, but I'd like to maybe get rid of them altogether out of my collection. But that is it, guys. Those are the 10 products that I'm no longer purchasing or wanting as categories in my collection. What about, I know for some of you now you're going, concealer? Are you mad, woman? I will take it out of my cold dead hands. You will not get my concealer. And I understand. If it works for you, I'm thrilled. Whereas I'm like that with colour correctors. I love them. But I think other than that, I wonder, maybe brow products people might disagree with me on as well. They might say, no, I really like having my brow products. Let me know down below, what categories are you kind of saying, I need to wind them down, I need to stop purchasing anything from that, I'm not using them, they're not getting any love in my collection. I'd love to know. But that's it for today's video, guys. And I choked on it. I really hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully I'll chat to you in the next one. Take care. Bye. Slán.